Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at a Quadra 700 and how to image the hard drive to use on a PiSCSI, formerly known as the RaSCSI. But I thought before we do that, let's take a little benchmark here of how long it takes for the internal hard drive to boot up. And yeah, you can hear it there, it's pretty loud. And we'll see how long this takes, and then we'll do a similar check once we've put the image over to the RaSCSI, the PiSCSI. As you can see, there's something off with my screen. This screen doesn't quite render the black and white correctly. The black is looking green. As you can see, this is running system 7.5. and ideally I would want to be running system 7.1 because system 7.5 is just a bit too heavy, especially with 20 megabytes that I'm running. And yeah, the Quadra 700 is a powerful machine, but it really shines with system 7.1. It's much faster. Because the Quadra can take up to 68 megabytes of RAM with a 4 megabytes on board, and then 64 megabytes of RAM in the RAM slots. And yeah, I hope to make some upgrades in that area as well. Just over 2 minutes basically for starting up. And yeah, so switching over to 16 colors, we can see that there's still, we see the colors there in the apple up in the corner, but we can see that it still renders the gray or the black in a yellow, in a green sort of way. You see the Macintosh logo there, it's in color, but there's a green tint. So let's see if we can fix that also. And here we have it. Yeah, it's out, and it is a loud beast. So this will definitely be good to get out of the machine for noise, but also because it might fail. And also, of course, the PiSCSI will be faster. And so let's image the hard drive. I'm using HDD raw copy tool to do this on an old Windows machine running Windows XP. This machine is from about 2003. Yeah, this copy tool is really good. I've imaged a bunch of SCSI drives. I have this SCSI card that you can see there in the machine, and yeah, it just works and it's great. And I've been able to sort of image the drives and save the image to see if there's any interesting software. And there's the activity light, but also to save it to the RaSCSI, so I can run the images with the RaSCSI / PiSCSI as it is now known. Yeah. So here we see the process. So this is a big, relatively big hard drive. It's over 400 megabytes. Usually the hard drives that you find in Compact Macs are about 40 megabytes, and that's a pretty swift process. But here you can see we're doing a bit more than 1 megabyte per second, well, almost, well, 1.5 roughly. I think it'll come up towards 2 megabytes towards the end, probably. It's usually what happens, but yeah, it's not very fast. But I always hold my breath to see that it completes well. Usually these SCSI hard drives, they fail sooner or later, and usually in my position they fail I would say sort of 3 out of 5 work when I get them, and then they almost all of them fail eventually. Yeah, but this PiSCSI is really amazing. So I've been using it to as an external hard drive to my Macintosh machines, but I've also used it to get on the internet through the Wi-Fi on the Raspberry Pi, and so this is definitely a recommendation. Do check out the PiSCSI project and all the things you can do with that hooked up to old Macs. And yeah, this is still going underway. We see the activity light is blinking. Of course, this activity light in the Quadra 700 will be able to disconnect in the future and connect to a BlueSCSI, for example, to use an image on an SD card, but with the activity light. But we can see here that this Seagate drive actually has a built-in activity light that's blinking away, the green and the amber from the case. How's it going? We're up on 70% and still going well. Yeah, so this XP machine has proved to be a great sort of bridge machine. I can access my my network attached storage on this, so I can put the files there and then access it from my modern computer and put them on the Raspberry Pi. Of course, it has the floppy drive. I have a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive in there as well. And yeah, I was pretty pleased to get the Quadra 700. It is the Jurassic Park Macintosh as seen here, with Ray Arnold, computer guy, sitting, played by Samuel Jackson, and that was pretty cool. And I have some more plans for it. Here we see the activity lights blinking away again. But yeah, some things need to be done. I want to change the fan, the power supply fan, to an Noctua fan, and so that is something that we'll be looking into in a future video, hopefully. Maybe recap the power supply as well. All right, let's have a look. We are at 99% and 100%, and it still continues a little bit, strangely enough. But there we go. Task complete, and it was a success. And yeah, I've put the image over on the PiSCSI there on the left, on top of the Quadra 700, and as you can see, I've also swapped out the screen for this Dell screen that actually deals with the frequency better. And now you can see that it's actually grey and not green, which is a great improvement. And yeah, the sound. It's just the sound of the power supply, and as I mentioned, we could do something about that with a Noctua fan, but of course the PiSCSI and also the BlueSCSI that we can also use images on is totally silent, of course. Yeah, as you can see, the white and the black are rendering nicely now. And yeah, it's still not a fast operating system, system 7.5. And as I said, we'll be changing that to 7.1. There's some nice upgrades that one can do to system 7.1, and I'll put a link in the description to Eric Helgeson's guide or to some things that you can do to make your 7.1 look more like 7.5, but with the speed benefits of 7.1. Yeah, coming up to 1 minute and 30 seconds soon, and yeah, we see this is a bit faster than when we had the physical hard drive, and it's going to load the modem software, and there it loaded. 1 minute 42 seconds, so 18 seconds faster, which is good news, of course. And let's switch to 16 colors to see how this new monitor renders the colors as well. So I don't have any extra VRAM in this Quadra 700, but I will be getting that, so we can get up to 256 colors as well. That'll be useful. And there we have it, the colors rendered nicely. So if you've enjoyed this video, do hit that like button, and if you'd like more retro computing coming your way, do consider subscribing to the channel. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!